per portare cambiamento ci vuole il coraggio, il coraggio di sciore del noto è conosciuto.
Per portare cambiamento ci vuole il coraggio. An Italian phrase that means to bring change. You must have the courage to get out of line. Musica Bella is all about getting out of line, getting out of the known, doing things in a completely, I don't want to say completely, but in a fundamentally different way than the prescribed way we usually hand out music education. It's change, and change is really difficult for most people. You as the administrator are an agent of change. You're not the strongest agent of change in your building, but you can support those people who are and who can influence other people. An agent of change. That is what this is about. That is why I'm talking to you. I want you to be that agent of change. In order to change, we need to be realistic. We need to accept the way things are. We have to be honest with ourselves. And here's a central truth. The central truth is this. If the children are not in the office, if the children are happy doing what they're doing in the classroom, if the parents are happy with what the children are doing in the classroom, and if you're happy with what the children are doing in the classroom, or the performances that happen at the end of what goes on in the classroom, it really doesn't matter what goes on in the classroom. As long as the kids are in the office, the parents are happy, you're happy. What happens in there is at the bottom of the list of what you need to worry about. What you're worried about are test scores in math and reading. I know this. Music is down on the list someplace. And that's the way it is. Not good, not bad, it just is. A fundamental truth is this. The desire to conform is often greater than the commitment to change. To conform, to be like others, to be liked by others. Because if you're not liked by others, you're not happy, probably. You want to conform so that you are liked. And if this is what someone does, and they're successful, and they're popular, you're going to follow suit because you want to be successful and popular. This is human nature, the desire to conform. The other thing that I think you should think about is history. Your history with music education, my history with music education, everyone's history with music education influences their future and their future vision for music education. And the trick is, how do you break that mold of what music education should be? Because Musica Bella is about not doing what we did 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's about doing things differently. And the history, the baggage that we bring to the table is often more powerful than the vision we want to adopt. And so it takes a very, very special person to take these ideas and stay the course, to quote a George Bush, the first. It takes a special person, and I know that person in your classroom, in your building. That music specialist is that person. Another thing that's important for you to understand or to think about before you make a change is, if you like Disney-esque musicals where kids are singing with a soundtrack from a CD and they're in pretty bright costumes, and they're jumping all over the place, and they're singing like angels. This is not for you. This is not for you. You can get to that same spot, but it will be a completely different route that will take much longer. And educationally, intellectually, it will be far superior than buying something from a store and producing it with your kids. There's nothing wrong with putting on a Disney musical, although it's more about entertaining than it is about thinking, about making musical decisions. And this, as I've said before, is about making musical decisions and having intellectual conversations about those musical decisions. Per portare cambiamento, to bring change, we must have the courage to step out of line.